Emotionally underdeveloped individuals often have a very inconsistent sense of identity, values, or boundaries. Their opinions, morals, beliefs, or even their personality may change depending on who they're around, how they feel at the moment, or what benefits them. One day they strongly believe something, and the next day they completely contradict themselves without noticing. This can make relationships emotionally unstable because you never know what version you're going to get, and you can't trust anything that they say. They don't know what they believe. It's not having a developed internal sense of self that causes the immaturity in the first place. Instead of operating from stable internal values, emotionally immature people tend to operate based on how they feel, their fears, social pressure, or based on their comfort. It's not on principles or conscience. Their identity becomes very reactive to their environment. If they feel embarrassed, rejected, threatened, or uncomfortable, their beliefs may suddenly shift to protect themselves. This can show up in a lot of ways. Someone may preach honesty, yet they never tell the truth about anything. Someone may demand respect, but they don't honor anyone else's boundaries. They may criticize behaviors in others that they excuse in themselves and those they like. Around different people, they can seem entirely different because they mirror whoever they're around in the moment. If this is your parent, it's especially difficult. Children naturally look to their parents for what is safe. They need stability and consistency. When a parent constantly shifts emotionally, changes stories, rewrites events, and behaves inconsistently, the child often grows up feeling unstable. They often become hypervigilant and constantly monitor mood, tone, and their environment, trying to figure out what version of the parent they're going to get. This can create a lot of self-doubt and anxiety in a child. Many adult children of emotionally immature parents become people pleasers. They over-explain, or they become highly adaptable because they spent years trying to find stability in an unstable environment. They often struggle to trust their own perception because their reality kept changing daily depending on someone else's emotions. One day, their parent may seem loving and self aware, and the next, they deny that things happened, they contradict themselves, and they can be completely emotionally distant. The thing that I can't relate to, that I can't grasp, is that emotionally immature people often genuinely believe these things that they tell themselves. So, like, if you say something one day and you completely change your tune the next, what do you internally tell yourself to justify that? Do they have a long term memory? Is it the people lacking the inner voice that are emotionally immature? I just don't understand how they can repeatedly tell themselves so many lies and genuinely believe them, but they seemingly do. The healthiest way to disengage is to stop expecting consistency from someone who is internally inconsistent. Focus on staying grounded in your own reality, boundaries, observations, instead of getting pulled into every temporary shift of someone else's mood. Pay attention to patterns and long term behaviors. That will tell you more than temporary emotional states and performative apologies. Don't keep emotionally reorganizing yourself every time someone else changes emotionally. Healthy relationships are much calmer because of the internal stability in the participants. People whose value, care, and behaviors don't completely change depending on mood or convenience. You likely will still have disagreements, but there's a general sense of emotional consistency and accountability with emotionally mature individuals. With the emotionally underdeveloped, the instability comes from the fact that they themselves don't truly know who they are. So everyone around them ends up confused too. Have a good day.